Hi friends, it's Caitlin and welcome back to the Floating Rock podcast. I hope you're having the most incredible day ever. So we're somewhere fun and new. If you are only listening to audio, it probably sounds worse. And if you're here on YouTube, you can see I'm in a car with some headphones on. Yay! Basically, the other night I was like, I got motivation to change everything about my life, and I love those kinds of nights personally. So anyway, the idea behind this time around was, so as we know, or maybe you don't, I train Muay Thai, and I recently realized, I'm like, girl, I have been getting gassed as fuck so much, and I'm like, well, to be honest, I'm really not doing much cardio outside of my actual, like, Muay Thai training, and, like, maybe a dance class here and there, maybe an incline walk if you're lucky kind of thing, and I was like, you know, like, I feel like it's kind of been in trend, if you will, to, like, train like an athlete. But I'm like, honestly, like, why the fuck not? I'm 22, I'm like, I can, so, like, why not fucking do it? So I took to Miss ChatGPT last night, and I told her, I was like, okay, like, make me, like, a new workout plan, here's some of my goals. I was like, I want to, like, work on some of my, like, endurance, I want to just, like, be more athletic in general. I was like, okay, like, I wouldn't mind losing, like, a little bit, just a little bit of fatsy, not just, you know what I mean, guys, to tone, there we go, we're body positive on this podcast. Anyway, so yeah, that was the goal, and it gave me like a cutesy little plan, and some of the days are kind of the same that I would normally sort of do, but I'm gonna do this entire week doing that training plan to a T, and yeah, I'm gonna take you guys along with me, and hopefully it's super cute and fun. So today is the first day, it's the quad day / dance class day, period. So yeah, that's the goal. I'll tell you guys the workout I do when I come back in the car after it, because I'm like running behind on my morning already. Okay, I forgot to mention too, another one of the goals of this plan was to like build muscle. Hello, we want a fatty, what? Anyway, so I just finished the quad day. Let me tell you the exercises. Goblet squat, leg extension, leg press, split squat, calf raises, and back squats, so just normal squats. Normally, guys, actually fun fact about me, I hate normal squatting, so I've actually avoided that for a super long time. So, okay, first observation about this little workout plan. This is like a normal kind of workout day for me, like normally I'll just hit something like this. Normally I will like do maybe like a little walk or like an ab or something afterwards. Today I didn't do that because I'm like, honestly, I feel like, hot take, I feel like sometimes like you kind of stay burning on like, especially like on the leg day. Like sometimes I feel like that's a sufficient enough, like get your heart rate up, like if you're really like doing those sets, especially if you're doing like any like drop set action afterwards. But yeah, I've been working on, there was a point in time where I was like logging all of the weights I would do and then like try to like, you know, progressively increase, and I just like, I fell off, I'm not gonna lie, I fell off of doing that, and I think I got really comfortable with the weights I was doing, especially I think it kind of aligned with when I started doing like more Pilates-esque workouts, normally just for upper body, but still. So I want to get more into, you know, progressive overloading my weight, especially for like leg days specifically, because I want to grow those muscles. If you're newer here, if you progressive overload the weight that you're doing, you will build muscle because you need more muscle to lift more weight, right? Don't quote me on that, but I think that's kind of how it works. So today I was like, you know what? Like my first attempt at that was I got with my goblet squat, because like normally I'm just like 30's cute, and I'm not gonna lie too, sometimes with these lifts I stay at the weight I do because honestly moving the weight is exhausting. Like picking up a 30 and bringing it across the gym, light work, easy, we can do that. However, like a 40, I'm like more than that, I'm like ugh. But I was like, okay, I'm gonna do 40 today, and I did, and I was like, I was like, okay, girl, you could do that. You could probably do more too, like, what the fuck? So I was like, okay, we're doing that. When it comes to machines, I didn't think I really did anything too extreme. No, leg extension, I did a little bit more than usual. Like, look at that, slay. So this is a reminder to keep progressively overloading in the gym. You probably can do more weight, or you could probably do more reps and that'll work you up to more weight, you know? But yeah, overall, loving the workout plan so far. I'll catch you at the heels class, girls. Bye! Okay, I just finished the dance class. Super cute and fun. It was so great. There is something about dancing in heels that just really does it for me. I love it. Workout-wise, I'd say like, I'm not gonna lie, honestly, that was always something I had to say about dance back when I was like doing PE and stuff. It really is like interval training because it's just so much of like going and then stopping and then going and then stopping. So it is an interesting, which honestly it is more similar to Muay Thai in that way. But yeah, it was really good. Today wasn't super like cardio sweaty vibes, which sometimes it can be, but it was a lot of like going down, getting up. And honestly, that as well is just like, girl. And I will add too, something about like being a dancer, just like being dance adjacent, that fitness related, I think is great. Like it really does encourage you to like keep your flexibility more than I think any other physical activity. I mean, maybe yoga, but that is one thing that I really, really love. And that like whenever I go to classes, I'm like, oh shit, like this move, like thank God I've been stretching, or like, okay girl, you need a stretch. Like it's just like great stretching and like mobility motivation, because like it can be a lot at times. But yeah, really, really loved that class. I've been loving going to heels since I've been back. It's kind of interesting. I started out dancing contemporary and hip hop growing up and like in college, and a little bit of hula, if you will. Now I've just been loving heels, and I don't know, I feel like it's so ebb and flow, and like maybe one day I'll go back to like hip hop or jazz or contemporary one day, but I've just been loving it. It's so womanhood. Okay, that's all from me. See you tomorrow. Hi friends. Okay, we are done with Muay Thai day 1. So I am very much see why I'm doing this challenge, because I get gassed. I get gassed, respectfully. I raise the question or the idea that like it's almost even more tiring because you're thinking. So today we did a bunch of feints, like fake outs, if you will. And girl, my brain does not work that fast. Like, oh my God. So when we eventually got to the sparring rounds, I'm like trying to do those because it's relevant. And I'm like, wow, this is very, very difficult. And I'm getting tired because I'm like, well, I'm thinking so much as well. But anyway, it was good. It's really interesting with Muay Thai, or kind of any workout class that you'll do to an extent. Sometimes it can really be a different workout every single time. Like, because we have kind of rotating coaches, like sometimes it's like 6 rounds of sparring, or sometimes it's only pad work the entire time. And it's weird because sometimes that pad work sort of like combo stuff will be so incredibly tiring because you're just doing the same thing over and over again and trying to perfect it, whatever. But then sometimes sparring is like, well, you're fighting for your life, literally. So anyway, very good. I wasn't able to get to the gym earlier today, so now I'm gonna go right now because I told myself I would do this, and hence we are. Okay, hello bestie girls. So I just finished the gym. So part 2 of today's workout. Today I did, according to ChatGPT, I did a 20 to 30 minute moderate stairmaster. Okay, I did 20 minutes because I was like, there's just no way. And then I did core. I did like these 3 core exercises. I did like weighted leg lifts. I called it like a weighted dead bug, if you will. It's like you're lying on your back, weight above your head, and you go like legs out, arms back, and then you bring it and then you put it on your shins, and then you do legs, if that makes sense. I don't know. And then the last one was just like some like plank action. I said this in the last vlog episode, I believe. Stairmaster is a fucking like, that's a phase. Because when I'm in a stairmaster phase, not to say it's easy, but like this is my first time on a stairmaster in so fucking long. Girl, I don't. Not to say I don't like that. You know what it is? What's different about a stairmaster versus like an incline walk? It's like you feel it in your legs more, I feel like you definitely like, it almost feels a little bit more like you're using more muscles and like strength, if you will. Not, I mean, you're just fucking walking, but like, I mean, it makes sense, but it's like so like significantly more tiring, and that's so crazy. Anyway, one other thing, a note just about like, I guess like more cardio, sweat heavy days. I also went in the sauna for like 10 minutes after. Number 1, if your gym has a sauna, like, oh my God, like use it. You probably already are if you have one, or if your gym has one, but genuinely it makes such a big difference. I was so sore like from that dance class the other day. Fun fact about dance classes is like, sometimes I just don't think you can ever warm up enough because of how shocking the movements are, you know, like it's not repetitive the way that like lifting weights is. So that definitely gets you goat, especially your neck if you're doing all that hair whipping. So yeah, that was super, super good to do tonight. I'd say biggest lesson from today's workout is consistency really does it just makes everything a lot easier. And I think that there's a muscle memory to those like kind of cardio things, and I think I'm kind of waiting on that to set in, or slash I'm on my way there, if you will. So don't feel discouraged if you're ever, you know, doing something that's a little bit more cardio heavy. But so far I'm liking the challenge. This is pretty fun. It's like kind of a fun way to like keep myself on my shit, and also filming this for you guys, I can't fucking slack. So yeah, having a great time. I didn't put this in like the initial vibe of the video, but I've been trying to like also lock in food wise this week. And here's my thing also is I'm a girl, and I feel like all of the girlies are a little susceptible to any sort of disordered vibes of eating whatever. And I don't want to fall into that ever and just get too obsessed with it. So I'm very much intuitive, but like, you know, focus on protein and like vegetables and shit like that, and like making sure I'm having maybe more carbs on my more cardio heavy days like today, and like maybe I don't need as much on other days. Anyway, so I'm trying to do that, but I'm not really including it in the video, but I just thought I'd add that in because genuinely, we all probably know this as well, like what you're eating is, girl, like that's probably like 50-50 of like progress you will make in the gym or like at your sport or whatever. Like what you're eating is like half of that progress, if not sometimes more, and that's so insane. And that makes me think like, I just wish food wasn't so fucking good. Cause like, I love yummy stuff, and I'm not gonna let a gym goal get in my way sometimes. Whoopsie, I'm human. Okay, that was a long blabber, but I'll catch you guys tomorrow. It's glute day. I'm so excited. Hello, my dear friends. Okay, so we just did our glute day, the long-awaited glute day. Oh my god, let me say, I don't know if it's just because like I didn't maybe have like the most proper rest day before this week, or starting this like challenge, if you will, but girl, everything hurts. But then again, I've been like doing everything. Like it's not like, oh, like my quads just hurt. Like I'm like, oh, it's because of the dance class and the Muay Thai class and the lifting. And then, you know, at work today I walked a lot. But anywho, I thought I'd give us some thoughts. Number one, remember that whole thing I was saying about like, sorry if I ended up cutting it out, but I just was talking a lot about how like muscle memory and practice makes perfect, even in the gym, blah, blah, blah. I literally had a side pain my first round of running. Let me walk you through what we did today. So for today, the workout was hip thrusts, step ups, cable kickbacks, back extensions, and then like these step back lunges I like to do like with the barbell. And then Miss ChatGPT said, you're gonna do a finisher of a 30-second sprint, 90-second walk/jog, and do that 6 to 8 times. Given I was walking for like 6 hours this morning for work, I chose 6 reps of this. Oh my god, like, I don't know whose idea this was. But yeah, this is being a very thorough push, if you will. So my note midway through this week, number 1, is doing things like that. Number 1, like keeping yourself accountable through maybe a method like having a fucking podcast, or if you will, like maybe through TikTok or through sending videos to your friends or text updates or things like that. It is such a good motivator because if I didn't have this to keep me accountable, like I was like, no, I have to report back on this like leg finisher. I never do that. But because I'm like filming it, I was like, girl, you have to do it. Like legally, you have to do it. I will say, I was having a thought as I was running, and I feel like I do talk a lot about like fitness, going to the gym or your workout class or whatever, this and that. I feel like I'm like, damn, like this is honestly like such a, like what a privilege to work out. Like that's kind of crazy. Like I got off of work around noon, so like I could have maybe spent 2 hours in the gym today. And I'm like, who the fuck just has 2 hours midday to just be like gallivanting around the fucking gym? Like, all for the sake of content? I mean, and for working out, but still, you know what I mean? So like, I don't know, I just want to talk about that. And like, if you are in a place like me where you have like just tons of random little jobs, and like you do maybe have like more free days or more free hours, and it's just like, it's a lucky situation. And I guess I was thinking about like, I feel like I'm able to spend like these hours in the gym, or like when me and bestie girl Malia go together, like, or we can talk and be there for 4 hours. Like, oh my god, like it's possible that there will be a time in my life where I don't have that kind of like time or freedom or whatever. And I don't know, just like thinking about this, it's not only the privilege of being able to move and having a healthy body, but the privilege of having the time to do that. And additionally, like the funds, you know, like working out is expensive, unfortunately. Like there's definitely some gyms that are on the cheaper side or whatever, but like especially if you're going to a workout class, like, you know, my dance classes and Muay Thai classes, like I'm paying for them, but like it's kind of expensive. Like, it adds up. So I don't know, I guess just a thought for you today when it comes to fitness is what a privilege it is, and just to like, and not to feel bad about it, but just to soak it up. I feel like that's an interesting thing when it comes to like things that you are lucky to have. Like, it doesn't mean, like, you're allowed to feel luck and to feel joy, and it doesn't mean to like feel bad that you have those things, but it's about like being aware that like, wow, this is such a privilege, and like soaking that in, you know, and being aware of how lucky you are. And speaking of that whole idea of like maybe not having time, so I'm working on a little commercial gig this weekend, but it starts tomorrow morning, and I'm like, okay, tomorrow I have to be there at 8:30, and it might be till like 6 something, I don't know, it's a full day. So I'm like, okay, wait, oh my god, Muay Thai is at 6:30, so I'm like, okay, in a perfect world, I'm gonna pack all my shit, and like, am I gonna go to the gym after, or I raise you, am I gonna go before work? Scary. Like, wait guys, legally I feel like I should, just to like cosplay one of those people. Like, my coworker who I was just with today, she wakes up at 5 a.m. because she's better than everybody else. Oh my god, this is something I wanted to talk about too. I know, maybe you know, clap clap, that you are like getting back to like your peak fitness era when you start to get hungry as a motherfucker again. And that makes me happy, because like back at school, I was kind of, I guess by the looks of this video, doing similar stuff to this. I was going to the gym almost every day, give or take a rest day. I had dance rehearsal twice a week, and I had Muay Thai twice or 3 times a week. So I was moving and grooving, and then, you know, walking to class, this and that. Anyway, so I'm like, I noticed when I came home and I was like not moving as much, I was like, why am I not as hungry? Like, and it was weirding me out, honestly, because I was like, well, I'm so used to like eating a certain amount that I was like, whoa, what the fuck? However, I'm like recently starting to like feel that appetite come back, and to me that makes me happy, because I'm like, wait, that means I'm burning shit, because that means that's what's making me hungry. So anyway, just another fun little thought of like, if you ever go through moments in your life where you're like, why am I hungry as a bitch? And obviously there's probably many factors. Yeah, I was just like, this is so exciting. This is so exciting. Okay, anyway, I'll catch you tomorrow. Hi friends. Okay, so what a fucking day. Today is Thursday. Let me tell you what ChatGPT told me to do today. So today was supposed to be an upper body day and Muay Thai practice. And so I just think this is so funny. Basically, I was just talking yesterday, at least probably like a few seconds ago, about the privilege of working out and being busy and this and that. So funny, because literally ran into that today. Today I was working on like a commercial, and I was working like from like 8:30 in the morning to like 5:30, and Muay Thai is at 6:30. But I was like, oh, I really don't want to go to the gym after. So I literally was at the gym for I think 25 minutes. Like, I was there for so short, but I didn't do what ChatGPT told me to do. So I'm like, oh, not my best work if we're doing the challenge. However, I'll tell you what I did anyway, because as we know, when it comes to fitness and staying in shape and having goals and this and that, like, things do change and you have to be adaptable to that. And if there's one thing I believe in, there's a lot of things I believe in, but one of them is checking shit off is better than not doing it. And to me, I was like, I honestly could see myself being so exhausted by the end of Muay Thai and not wanting to go hit upper body. But I was like, well, no, like, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna check it off, even if that means doing it for 20 minutes. And damn sure I did, girl. Damn sure I did. So basically, I just went in and I did this little circuit, especially for the girls. You might enjoy this. Actually, first, I'll tell you what ChatGPT said to do. She said shoulder press, lat raise, bicep curl, dumbbell chest press, lat pull down, and either some sort of like, I call it the JPG pull. He was like this fitness influencer. He had this famous lat sort of pull, or like one of those like mid pull machines. Anyway, so that's what she said to do. I didn't do that. I did this like upper body circuit, I guess you could call it, that I've been kind of getting up to recently, and I have actually been enjoying it because it's a little bit more like Pilates-esque, right? So basically, it's some sort of formulation of whatever you feel like. The first little set I did was 10. I did it literally with just 10s, because then you're moving consistently. So I did 10 shoulder presses, I did 10 tricep curls, I guess, in a way. It kind of goes behind you when you lean forward. And then did some like bent over rows, and then I did some hammer curls, like for your biceps. And then I did that whole thing 3 times. And then I did a lateral shoulder raise, 10 of those, and then 10 bicep curls, normal kind, and then this like back fly kind of action, but over like back fly. So I did basically like 6 sets of those little like circuit things, and I got the fuck out of there. And I was like, you know what? I checked it off. It burnt a little, yay. So yeah, just some inspiration if you've kind of been wanting to do something a little bit more Pilates-y and just like toning your upper body, not as much like trying to lift heavier there. Try it out. I've been liking it. Anyway though, so I go to Muay Thai and we're like 30 minutes in, the power goes out. Guys, like genuinely, it's like they knew I was filming this entire week. The power goes out and we're all like, oh. And it's really funny too because at that point the speaker was still playing and the song was like, murder, murder, da-da-da-da. I was like, yo, what the fuck? Anyway, so power goes out and we're all kind of like, okay, what do we do? Because it was like, I don't know, 30 minutes into class, and that's right around when you're getting your groove, right? So I'm kind of meandering. I'm like, wait, I don't want to leave. And like the coach is kind of like, okay, like, you know, but then he ends up getting out some like pads to like do some pad work, and I'm like, okay, I'm freaking staying. Like I was hyped for this. I was looking forward all day to it. I actually kind of thought I wasn't going to be able to go because of like my work today, but I was like, wait, I can, yay. So I ended up doing some pad work with him, and then I sparred 2 people, and then did some more pad work with him, and then ended up holding pads for somebody else. But anyway, so fun. And all in the dark. We all like, it was really, really cute. We like set up our phone flashlights, but it was just like, wait, it kind of felt like, you know, when you have, oh, what a weird thing to say. I was gonna say when you have like an intruder drill at school and everyone's like hiding under their desks, but they're doing it together. That's fucked up. Very American, actually. Anyway, or like even when the power goes out at school, it's all like hee hee ha ha, like this is different. That's kind of the vibe it was, and I had a lot of fun. And it was weird that like, in fact, I stayed 30 minutes later than I normally would, just like working. I don't know what it was, but it was really, really fun and I had a great time. But anyway, that was super fun and great. And I had like another little epiphany too that I just thought I'd share here because it's just a fitness episode, love it. I was thinking about like, I feel like there's a lot of these things, and maybe it doesn't even have to be like exercise or sport related, or even health, if you will, but I think there's a lot of these things that are habits for us or just things that we do. Like if you're a football player, you just keep going to football and that's just what you do. And I feel like sometimes you forget that you love the thing that you do all the time. And I don't know why, because it was like maybe a little bit different today or just like, I don't know, but like I was like in the car after and I was like, man, like I really love this. Like not even in just like a, like, oh yeah, I like it so I go every day, but like I think sometimes like it takes maybe like a change of pace or like something specific to happen for you to sometimes step back and like realize that, wow, like not like there is a reason why I do this every day and or however many times a week or a month or whatever that you do something. And like you forget that you love these things, and it's like really cute to remember that you do. Even I'd say like the gym, like I've had some gym days where like the lift is so good and it's like, wait, like I love this. Like I love getting to do this and moving my body and like having intrinsic goals of like I want to do this better or I want to feel better doing this, or you know what I mean? Like it's just such a beautiful little thing. And like today I was just reminded of that because like I feel like I have gotten so in the habit of like, oh, and then she just goes to Muay Thai and love it, live it, give it. But it was nice to be reminded that like, oh, not only do I do it, but like I love it. Oh, so hopefully I feel like you guys maybe relate to that, or maybe that reminded you of something that you do, or maybe something that you don't do anymore and you're like, wait, hold on. Like I think it's so easy to just think about things as just things you do, you know, like maybe you used to play a sport, maybe you played soccer, and then you just kind of, oh, I don't have time to play soccer, like soccer is just like, it takes time up, this and that, but then sometimes you're like, wait, but like I loved it, and it wasn't about the practices or the games, it was just like you love playing and you love being with those people and playing on a team and having a common goal and high-fiving people, you know what I mean? So that's something really cute. And that is just, I guess, another thought on the note of all this fitness stuff is like, I love how it goes into so many different facets of your life. As I mentioned a few clips ago to the whole thing that maybe I didn't mention that yet. He had this other little quote I thought was cute. He was like, we work hard in here so that when you have to go and like work hard and persevere in real life, like you've already done it here so you can do it there. And I was like, bars. That's a fucking bar. and as fuck. Like, if you are someone who is like consistently getting their movement or making sure that they're eating healthy or whatever, like, you are showing up and you're showing yourself discipline so that you can show hard work and discipline and whatever, and show up for yourself and show up for other people in real life as well. And you can persevere. Like, I don't know, I just love how it can go into so many facets of your life. And wherever you are in your journey, be proud of yourself, because it's hard. It's so much easier to sit on the couch. So I'm so excited for you wherever you are in your journey, whether that means you're gonna keep up fucking being a disciplined ass motherfucker, or maybe that means you're like, you know what, girl, hell yeah. Like, and you also might add, you don't need to be the best at anything. You don't need to lift the heaviest. You don't need to be the best at sparring. You don't need to kill everybody. You don't need to be the best dancer, be the best soccer player. You don't, like, you know, like, it's about you and making yourself happy and connecting with people and feeling more confident and showing yourself and showing up for yourself. That's the theme here, guys. I think one of the biggest things that health and fitness and whatever does for you is it shows you that you are able to show up for yourself. And I think that is such an important thing. Okay, that's enough thoughts on that for today. On to the next clip. See you on Friday, girl. Hi, guys. Okay, so I'm now reporting on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I forgot to film / like I got kind of busy, but don't fret, I still have the report. So I actually changed, the original plan was supposed to be Sunday as a rest day, but I changed it around and made Friday my rest day, which worked out because I had like a full day of work and stuff too. So I was like, okay, cool, awesome. In the journey, it's allowed to change. Plans are allowed to change. Anyway, then for Saturday, I also switched the order of two things, but Saturday, what ChatGPT called it was kind of like a conditioning / like circuit day. And guys, this was so fun. And I actually like didn't even fully write it down because I was like, I didn't really like what I was working with. I was like, just come back to this when the day comes. And the day came. But basically, it was giving me like fuck shit like jump roping, and I was like, girl, I don't have a jump rope. And I'm like, and just the thought of like doing things that are like that, like at the gym, I don't know, like the really jumpy shit. I'm like, okay, that's kind of a lot. Like shadowboxing at the gym, like that gives off a certain fucking vibe, right? But anyway, I eventually was like, okay, so I decided, and my day was already also running a little bit behind, but I was like, you know what if I do it like at home? So, and like, you know, we have like I feel like a lot of like, at least if you maybe still live with your parents or something, like I feel like a lot of like houses that have been lived in for a while, like have some sort of like workout equipment sometimes. So I was like, okay, like I had a few little weights. I was like, wait, cute, fun. So basically the circuit that it had me do was mountain climbers, kettlebell goblet squats, dumbbell snatches, shadow boxing, jump lunges, and plank like shoulder taps. And basically I had to do 30 seconds of each one, and I did like 10-second rest between it just to like be able to switch it, and then 1 minute rest, and you repeat it like 4 or 5 times. Basically, one of the rooms in our house, we like put like a mirror in it at one point, and so it's kind of like a little sort of workout looking moment, if you will. So I like wrote all of it out and like put it on a piece of paper and taped it to like the wall, and I was like, wait, this feels like I'm a personal trainer right now, and it was so fucking fun. So yeah, I like set up, I looked up on YouTube 30-second timer, 10-second rest, and I just did, I think I did 5 sets of like all of that stuff, and I like put a speaker on, I like was blasting music. I was like, wait, this was so fun. And I did a few extra little rounds of shadow boxing just because I was like, honestly, like I probably should be doing this more just for the sake of like looking at my form and just like seeing like what's up, because the place I train right now, like we don't have mirrors, and I'm like, I don't even know what I look like, you know? So anyway, that was tons of fun. And I like, I don't know, kind of opened my eyes to like, I was like, yo, you know, like I feel like an at-home workout's kind of fun and cute, and like doing that, because sometimes I will say I do enjoy the social pressure of a gym or of a class and just having people around me. Like I feel like it's like weirdly subconsciously motivating, and like I've always been a little turned off by the idea of like working out at home, but I don't know, it really did open my eyes that like, oh, that is totally possible. Or even like something in like a smaller, like if I lived in like an apartment, I feel like I wouldn't be very motivated by like an apartment gym, because I feel like in my head those are like usually a little smaller, more like a hotel gym. But yeah, that really like opened my mind, and also made me realize too, I was like, oh, I'm like so lucky to have this like little kind of room mirror situation going on. I'm like, well, like maybe I should use this more. This is actually really cool. And yeah, it also like, guys, there's a little part of me, and maybe it'll happen, who knows, that totally wants to be a personal trainer. Like, that's another life path of mine. Because, lore drop, if you didn't know this about me, I very briefly taught this like sort of Zumba workout class sort of vibe, but it was like not for like old people. So yeah, I taught like a workout class for like a month or two, and that was like really fun. And I was like, wait, this is so awesome. And you know me, so I'm like, yeah, you're slaying, yay, let's go, guys. And yeah, so I'm like, that's definitely like an alternate reality of mine, is I am a personal trainer. So just stay on the lookout, because you never know. Like, I'm a girl who lives a side quest, so like, keep your eye out. Anyway, so yeah, that was tons of fun. And if you take anything from that, honestly, it really did show me that like you can do shit at home, especially too because it was more of like a circuit training, though I didn't need a shit ton of weight. I think you also can thrift weights. I like see them at the thrift store a lot. Anyway, so that was Saturday. So now today's Sunday, and basically they called it lower accessory plus plyos. Plyometric? I don't fucking know. See, this is why I'm not a personal trainer. I don't know the lingo. Anyway though, so for this one, it was kettlebell swings, walking lunges, box jumps, deadlifts, and single leg glute bridges. Funnily enough, my grandma's gonna kill me. Fun enough, I don't fucking know. That's actually worse. Anyway, bestie girl Malia did this with me today, which was tons and tons of fun. So we started with the walking lunges, no weight, just as a warm up, and then we did it with weight, and it was super cute. We did 3 sets of the weighted ones, just back and forth as like a set, if you will. And then after that, we did this like super set circuity moment of one of us was doing the single leg glute bridges. I think we did a 20-pound weight, and then we did box jumps when you were off, and then like a 1-minute rest between the two, or between the whole like both exercises. So you do this one, and then you do the 1-minute rest. And then we did the kettlebell swings. Guys, I've actually never done this before, and I was like, wait, this is kind of fun. I love that. And I can actually like feel it. You know how sometimes there's those exercises where you just look at it and you're like, what are we doing here? But actually in practice, it's like, oh, I do feel this. Like, that slays. Great. New thing unlocked. And lastly, we did deadlifts with if you're a gym girly, you probably understand this unless you already like stayed doing deadlifts the whole time. But I feel like as someone who like definitely focuses a lot on like glutes and stuff, I definitely got myself acquainted with an RDL. However, it made me kind of forget how to do a real deadlift, or like a normal deadlift. And for a while there, like whenever I would try, it would just turn into an RDL. So I was like, Urgh. But a way around that is using the like hexagon bar thing where it's almost like a circle around you. So we used that today, no weight, because it was already heavy enough on its own. And we did that, and it was kind of fun. And like, I feel like I see people using it, and I've always been like, okay, what's happening here? But it was really great. And it was like, it helps you, like you kind of like can't do an RDL with it, so it's like great to like make sure you do a real deadlift. And that was today's workout. Oh, and we also went to a heated core power class in the morning. Guys, I love the free community classes there. If you haven't done them, if you haven't been in a while, go and do it. It was so awesome. And it gets you like some sauna time. I'd argue too, it like made up for a little bit of my rest day, and like probably what I would have liked to have done on a rest day is like something like that where it's like heated and stretching and maybe like a little like an active rest, if you will. I got some sweat in, but like nice and right. But yeah, I'd say here are my final thoughts. Oh, also additionally, I started getting back on creatine this week actually, and that's been an interesting journey within itself. I'm gonna see how it keeps going. Do I endorse creatine? To an extent, yes. Obviously, it's like what works for you. Basically, like for me, the biggest reasoning for getting back on creatine is because it helps you recover so damn fast. Like genuinely, when I was on it, like when I was like consistently taking it last, I wouldn't be sore. And like it would weird me out because I do like a good ass leg day or good ass back day, and I'm like, why am I not sore? But it's just because like that should be working. So I will say, if you are like decently into your gym journey, I like it for that. And obviously that helps you grow muscle because then you can keep lifting, you know, like definitely do your own research. I really like actually the Pursuit of Wellness podcast. She has a compilation episode of like a bunch of her guests that have talked about creatine, as well as like you can look up individual episodes that talk about creatine. So yeah, do your research for yourself. But that is something that has been a part of my fitness journey, and I thought I'd mention it. But yeah, overall thoughts here. I liked this, and going into next week, I'm going to try and keep it up, I think, because I did actually really enjoy diversifying like the kind of movement that I've been doing. I haven't, like, I think normally my movement's already pretty diverse, I will say, but that was like a fully different kind of vibe for me, like doing those circuit workouts, especially like doing that on my own. I've done it in more like group settings, but doing it self-motivated, that's actually really interesting, especially when it does come to like maybe Muay Thai or dance or something. Like sometimes I think doing that kind of training on your own, not only does it train your body, but I feel like it also trains your mind, because realistically, like your bandwidth to push is like physically like pretty big, but sometimes I think it's just your brain that gives out first. It's your brain that's like, oh God, I'm tired. And I totally do that. If anyone who does Muay Thai with me is listening for some reason, you would know that I totally do that. But yeah, I think that is interesting, and that surprised me the most for the circuit day, because I feel like people do those types of workouts with a personal trainer or with a group because they're like the hardest to self-motivate, because not only are they involving strength and your muscles are getting tired, but it's also that cardio. And I feel like it's easy to like lift weights on your own because you're going for a number, but I feel like when you're going for time, it's a lot harder to self-motivate like that. And I think possibly the benefit of doing that alone, and obviously with a friend is tons of fun too, but possibly the benefit of that is like training your mind also to push when it's just you, you know, like you're only fighting for you right now. So loved that. And yeah, I mentioned it earlier, but I did kind of like the structure of it, and like having really different days, and it didn't feel like I could switch things around as much in a good way, kind of, because normally when I'm just kind of working with my quads, glutes, upper body, it kind of felt like, oh, and I can just switch it around, and like it just felt more like loosey-goosey. But I liked how this was like, no, and like you're doing this today, girl. And also I think it helps you from overtraining certain things. I think sometimes it's like when you do have such a specific 3 category split or whatever, it's so easy to just like, and guess I'm hitting legs again. Alrighty, you know, it's like, okay, like we're doing some other fun stuff in between. I also think it helps you get a little bit less bored too of what you're doing, and it's just as much of a workout. I raise you one more thing actually. I think too, at least in my head, because I think weightlifting and like the gym has become such a big thing on social media, it's almost like been so segmented. It's like, these are the Pilates girls, these are the HIIT people, these are the weightlifters, this and that. And actually for a while there, like I kind of thought like the only way to train your muscles was to lift, you know? But I think doing these like plyos and doing like the lower accessory day and that circuit, whatever, I was like, oh, like you can actually train your muscles in like a different way that's not just like lifting the heaviest that you can for however many reps that you can. So I enjoyed that. And additionally, like I just love that whole vibe of like train like an athlete, because I did kind of feel like that today. I think any day you do a box jump, you're an Olympian, girl. You're an Olympian. I'm also scared of doing box jumps, guys. I'm actually just scared of jumping a little bit, I'm not gonna lie. Like jumping up to like a bar, like if there's a pull-up bar that's like jump feet away from me, I'm like, I get kind of scared. I don't know why. Maybe I'm just short, but I'm like, wait, what if I miss? What if I miss? Not the point though. Along with all of that, recovery is super important. I think I had a grand idea to take like a hot Epsom salt bath on that Friday rest day. However, I did forget / remember I had a cat to feed, and it just didn't happen, and that's okay. So maybe I'll do it this week. But yeah, as important as all that movement is and nutrition, make sure you get that good rest, girl. That's still definitely a journey I'm working on. But yeah, I had a lot of fun this week, and I implore you to take to the internet, to ChatGPT, and like, I don't know, or tell it exactly what you're working with, what your goals are, all that kind of stuff, and like see what it comes up with for you, and like work with it, and like, I don't know, maybe challenge yourself like I did for a week and see how you feel, and see if you want to stick to it after that. Okay, yay. I loved hanging out and talking fitness and all that fun stuff with you guys this week. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed. Yay! See you guys next week, I guess. Okay, bye-bye. Oh, follow the pod, rate the pod, kisses and love.